Hi guys. I found this kettle. This was a great find I found at the RTR, and it's a kettle. I wasn't really sure what it was. This is the one I said I kept rubbing to see if the genie would come out, but it never did. Oh well. So I've been working on it a little bit, and you can tell by the lid here that it's brass. So because I had bought some brasso, but my mom, being antique dealer for years and years, swore by cleaning brass with Lysol toilet bowl cleaner. So as you can see from here, I used the brasso on here and around the sides here, and I just finished using it on the lid, so it worked out really well. But now I'm going to try the Lysol. So let's see. I'm going to squirt that on there. Oh, not in it. And we're going to work on that and see what happens with that. So I got an old rag here. Just get rid of that because I don't want to get icky tarnished brass on that. So let's see what happens. So far, next to nothing. That part I already did do, the bottom. It's not going great. The brasso, it was tough enough to, I had to do some real elbow grease to get it going, but not so much. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse that off, and we'll go back to the brasso, see what happens. Alright, so let's try this again. I think I'm gonna put it on the rag itself. This is what came off of it when I just did the lid. It was all this black stuff. So I'm gonna put it directly on here. Let's get this really nasty spot here. So I'm just gonna put it on there. Yeah, so my mom had a shop up in Julian, up in East San Diego County, up in the mountains, and it was called Spinning Wheel Antiques. And she just loved it. She'd get her pot belly stove going in there, and get her coffee going, and sit and read her books if no customers were coming in. But then the customers would come in, and she just loved just yakking it up. I know that doesn't surprise you, consider how much I yak with people, but anyway, she'd bring them in, and she'd sit there, and she was just in seventh heaven. She'd raised, look at that, she'd raised all of us guys. She still had my little brother and little sister at home, who were 14 and 16 years younger than me. But I was married and starting having babies of my own, so they moved up there, and she kind of told my dad, well, you know, I'm kind of ready to go out and do my own thing now. So he ended up being a stay-home dad for a little while, and she reopened up this antique. It was in this little teeny shop, and she loved it. She and Dad would go to auctions all the time and pick up antiques, and she would research them and find their value and mark them accordingly. But she had this deal where she'd have tourists that would come up, because it's a very touristy area in some parts of the year, and they go, oh, Joe, how you doing, blah blah blah, and they'd be so excited to come up and see her, and she would have no idea what their name was. It was pretty funny. So we had this unspoken rule that if somebody came in and she'd go, oh, this is my daughter Katie, and like, oh, hi, we're Betty and Frank or whatever, and so then she'd go, that's right, that's their name. So we that's how she would remember what their names were. But she did that for many, many years, and she was really good at it. And then she and my dad then decided they needed a bigger area, they needed a good investment. So they built some a little shopping center across the street from there, and they named it Wynola Springs. Gross. Anyway, but I found this kettle. I was at the RTR in Quartzsite in January, and they had that free table, and I was just, you know, you go through and you drop some stuff off and check to see what's new, and this kettle was there. I went, wow, that's really fun. So I picked it up, and then when I got home, I got out the cleaner. So I will leave you here, and then I will come back and show you how it turned out. Sure. I'm going to try this and get in some of the nooks and crannies with that. It's a soft toothbrush, so you don't want anything too harsh. But in places like this, I'll see if that works out pretty good. It's coming along, see? It's little intricate little places like this. Ooh, maybe time for some ventilation here. Phew. I applied for a job one time. I worked for the state parks in Old Town San Diego, and one of my jobs was the restoration of some buggies and just the cleaning up of them and repainting here and adding some preservation techniques to some of those old wagons that are in this museum. And a job posting came up for Hearst Castle. So I applied for it, and they said, well, come on up for an interview. So I actually took a train up to San Luis Obispo. So went up there and went on the interview and got to have a tour and all that. And the job would be doing something very similar in, you know, polishing and cleaning and restoration. And anyway, I got up there and they go, oh, so where are you on the hiring list? And I said, hiring list? What's that? And they said, well, you need to take a statewide exam to get on the hire list, and then we hire off of that, which I had no idea was that a thing. And so that was the end of it. That was the end of my career at Hearst Castle. That was, golly, 1979, around there. So anyway, but that's okay. I don't think I could do this for a living. I'm not that, I don't have that much perseverance. This little kettle by itself was gonna cure me of wanting to do this. So anyway, that was an interesting adventure I could have taken, but didn't work out, but that's okay. Okay, we're out in the backyard now because it's nice and sunny out, and I just want to show you the finished product here. Look at that. It came out good. And I got it for free in the free pile.